For the beef, I knew this cling wrap was going to be a problem. Normally we use the extra wide one, and there's a reason, I know why we use the extra wide one. What we're going to do is lightly, and I do mean lightly. This is not an excuse, ladies, when hubby's giving you a bit of a bad time, and you're going to take your broth out in something. Sorry? No, fine. For this, what you need to do is take it from the center and move it out. Try and keep the shape as round as you can. You saw the bit of beef I started off with. Technically, that's what you've got now, and it has to be wafer thin. And the reason by doing it between the cling wrap as well, obviously, it stops it sticking. Right, that's that done. What we need to do now is technically, I'm going to marinate it. I don't mean immerse it. I'm just going to season it. I'm going to put some oil on it, and I'm going to put some citrus. And this, you can put a little bit of balsamic vinegar on it, but I prefer to put some fruit on it, either orange or lemon or lime, for the simple reason you're getting the acid, which is going to start cooking the beef, but it isn't going to be like, you know, with the vinegar, which would really give it a really, really strong taste. You need a little bit of oil. You want some salt. Again, it needs to be seasoned, and the salt will start it. A little bit of black pepper. Rub in the olive oil. Yeah. And then turn it, because obviously you need to do it on both sides. And I mean, it is literally a spot of oil. Salt and pepper. Spread it. The other thing, what you can do with this, it's better if you're going to use it, is to leave it out at room temperature, because it's easier to eat it when it's slightly warmer. If you're going to prepare it and leave it and put it in the fridge, then stick it by and obviously refrigerate it. But keep the cling wrap on it. Otherwise it'll start to discolor and you'll get like a little skin on it. That's that basically there to go. You brush the tomatoes. Oh. We're going to use a bit of garnish of this. We're going to use fresh tomatoes. Basically we've skinned and de-seeded them to make sure. The easiest way to do them, take the little eye out, pop them, cover them with boiling water out the kettle, leave them for about 30 seconds, run them under cold water, dry them out, and then the skin should come straight off. And then what you're left with is a nice firm bit of tomato with no skin on it. If you cook them any, yeah please, for any less than 30 seconds, then obviously they're going to have a bit of a problem. But it's just nicer to do this. And especially for some of us, we're getting on maybe, and find that the seeds and the skin stick to inappropriate places, possibly. I never mentioned Wally's. For this you want a nice small dice. And the thing is with the thickness, you're going with the thickness of the tomato anyway. Yeah, please. The trouble is I was a bit worried about doing this because my hands, it's quite cold in here, and I had visions of removing at least one digit. So that's going to be the basis for the dressing. You got a nice bit. See the difference between that, and it's taking about 30 seconds to take the skin off it and to take the seeds out of it. And you got a nice bit of fresh firm tomato there. We're going to add a little bit of chives to that. And make that up as a part of the garnish and the decoration around it. Chop your chives. Apparently you can snip chives apparently, but I don't know why one would want to. So we've got the chives, we've got the tomatoes in there. I'm going to use a little bit of herb oil. Now this herb, when I made this herb oil, I made this about 10 days ago. And the colour of it's still pretty vibrant. It doesn't matter what type of herb oil you're going to use, but you need to use parsley as a base. Because you need the chlorophyll, the green colouring, out the parsley to keep the colour. If you make basil oil, if you make your own basil oil, if you buy basil oil, they've got a preservative in it. It's the only way you can keep the colour, because as soon as you cut basil, it starts to discolour. But if you add parsley to the base and then blitz the whole lot, the parsley keeps the colour. It's not the predominant flavour, but it keeps it. And then this as well, and I've got rocket in here as well. So we're going to use that for the tomatoes. I'm going to add a bit of zest. Can I get another bowl, Katie? Please. For the dressing for the beef, once I've got that basic on. Never ever, as I say, when you're juicing bits of fruit and that, always do it in a bowl, because apart from anything else, you're going to get the bits out of it and you're going to get the seeds. Then strain it. The amount of times I've seen people adding lemon juice and they've got seeds and all bits and pieces in it. Actually, sticking your hand in a hot pot like that is quite good, because it's actually warming my hands up slightly, but not recommended. In there, we're going to have a little bit of, again, just a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. I'll strain that out, and I'll add that to finish off. You can do this two ways. Either peel a bit of zest off your lemon, your orange. And I've got to be careful here, because I don't want to start taking the pith. It's because you'll find there's more flavour in a bit of citrus fruit and the actual oil, which comes from the skin, than there is in the actual juice, bizarrely. So if you're wanting flavour, then use a bit of the pith. But the thing you've got to avoid is the white bit, because it's quite bitter. So if you can use a peeler or a little hand grater, make sure you've washed your fruit in that as well beforehand, because a lot of fruits in that you get now have been either whacked or they've got some sort of form of chemicals as a preservative on them. So be careful. So you have a choice. You've got the easy way or the really easy way. You can't, I think I've got on the this recipe as well. It's up to you about the flavourings. I quite like the citrus. I like the nice freshness of this. But if you're going to use, with lime and everything that as well, lime, orange, lemon, and saves you using vinegar of any description in it. And then they say if you want to, just add a little bit of the chopped skin.